Ladies and gentlemen, happy Friday. It's your barrel scraping power recapper, Dave Neal, host of Bachelor Nation News. We've actually got quite a story here. Demi was on the She's All Batch podcast, and she's crushing it with the tea. She says Nick talked smack about Hannah Brown. She said that's well known. She said she's tried to text Hannah the last 20 times, and Hannah hasn't responded. Now, we know, whether you want to label what Nick said was smack or trash, what Nick actually did was share his opinion. And I think that's okay. I think that's why we enjoy recapping what Nick says, because he shares his opinion, unlike some company men in the franchise that are like, well, I just think everyone, he shares his opinion he on Hannah Brown, and it's only being unearthed now because Demi's talking about it. Well, follow me on Instagram at DNeals down there. And also, we're going live on Patreon right now. Everyone in the Patreon section say hi. Patreon.com/Dave Neal. If you'd like to see the behind the scenes content of how we put these videos together, it's on Patreon. And then tonight, 5 p.m. Pacific time, I'm going to be doing a live stream while I build my whole entire setup. I do this thing right here. I go right here. See this? Look, I go here, and then I make all my content. So I'm going to be editing my Hawaii trip into a vlog, so you can see all the behind the scenes footage as I build it together. Tonight, I'm going to be doing that while I eat a bunch of pizza. Friday night, I'll have music playing. It'll be fun. Anyway, that's tonight. Okay. So let's get into it. I'm actually going to play this clip right here of what Demi had to say about Hannah Brown and Nick.
It's well known that Nick has talked shit about Hannah Brown. Someone told him that she wasn't a good friend. And Hannah Brown hasn't been talking to me at all. I wonder if she thinks that was me. We never talked about Hannah Brown. So I wasn't the one who told him about Hannah, about whatever reason he doesn't like her for. I have kind of texted her 20 times and she hasn't responded. Between you and I.
The girls are like, huh?
This is no longer between you and I.
How great is that? Oh, we love it. So there's other clips we'll play in a second here. But yeah, the She's All Batch podcast. If you're commuting home today, why don't you put that on? Listen wherever you get your podcast apps. She's All Batch. I always want to say Bach because it's spelled Bach. She's All Bach, and that's my intellectual way of saying it. I'll be Bach. I'll be Batch. Stephanie and Jackie. Great work. They do great work. You know why? Because people are willing to talk if you let them feel comfortable enough. And you can see here as Demi's kind of spilling the tea, they're like, oh boy, we got gold on our hands. So here's a jump cut of some things that Demi said here and what's on their Instagram with some other randomly placed tea. Just have a listen.
It's well known that Nick has talked shit about Hannah Brown. Between you and I, this is no longer between you and I. I have kind of texted her 20 times and she hasn't responded.
All right, so we got that.
Is Christian coming? And they'd be like, I don't know. She said she didn't want to come. And I'd be
why would you ask that?
But it didn't just happen like that. I really didn't think she would be saying bad things about me still because she apologized for it. Why are executive producers talking to Hannah Brown in the middle of the day randomly? I could see that he knew he disappointed me, When I met Tyler Cameron, he went on a podcast after and he was like, yeah, I met Demi today and she was so beautiful and blah, blah. I have been holding on to that.
So anyway, great work on the jump cuts there. If that's not good promo for your podcast, I don't know what is. So as far as Nick, like Demi said, it's well known that Nick's talk trash. He shared his opinion. Perez Hilton covered it right here. Nick Viall weighs in on Hannah Brown N-word controversy and terrible apology. Really insincere and ignorant. If you don't remember, I think this was from the beginning of the pandemic. Isn't that wild? What? Yeah, is there a date on this? Anyway, here's what Nick had to say. Listen, Hannah Brown has a massive platform. She's been very outspoken about her desire to be a role model, specifically to young women out there. She's talked about it a lot. When I was a young girl this, when I was a young girl that. And quite frankly, her going on Instagram Live, whether she was inebriated or not, and using that word in any context whatsoever is not being a role model. Certainly not a good one. And she has to be held to a high standard. We all do. And it is very important to see. Honestly, her initial response was disappointing. I'll be quite honest. I don't know a way in which I would punch up what Nick said there. You know what I mean? I think that's good. So, of course, she was like, I was drinking, whatever, this and that. That's when I interviewed Hannah Brown, that's the one conversation in the live show I didn't want to bring. That's the one topic I didn't want to bring up because she had apologized. And I was like, boy, there's nothing like some white guy asking some white girl about, about all that. It was like, this isn't the forum for this conversation. And then Nick said she has since posted a written apology on her IG stories that is set to expire. As Rachel said on her IG Live, that doesn't read as sincere. We don't know whether that came from her heart or if it was from her publicist. The only authentic reaction right now as it stands Monday morning is that when she just said on her, is what she just said on her Instagram Live. Frankly, that's a really, really terrible apology and really insincere, and it comes across as, again, ignorant to what she's speaking on. Nothing in line with what we just talked about, more in line with the typical someone's feeling themselves a little extra. All right, so, the theory that Demi has is that Hannah doesn't talk to me because she believes I leaked information to Nick. So that's the theory that Demi has. Hannah's disassociated from Bachelor as much as possible. We made a video about her yesterday. She kind of rode the wave, pretty much caught the tail end of the biggest Instagram sort of influencer money grab you could get in Bachelor Nation. I don't know if any, let's just go to her Instagram here. I don't know if anyone has gotten a bigger following since Hannah Brown. I mean, she wrote the best-selling book. She's getting big-time sponsorship deals. So here she is at 2.6 million followers, and she just went live today talking about her, the paid promo. I'm sure it's paid with Pure Salt Interiors and what they're doing there. We made. By the way, that was probably my best video of the month. When it comes to barrel scraping, guys, I just know what I'm doing. Off-season coverage on where's my Harry Potter wand? Oh boy. There it is. Always. When it comes to off-season coverage, when you combine that with barrel scraping in this here Venn diagram, you have genius. And you just gotta know when you have genius. When you're flapping your Harry Potter wand in the off-season, when there's nothing else to talk about, give credit where it's due. This is my flow state. This is where we operate from the depths and darkness of a barrel scraping world. That's where I'm at. That's where I live. That's where I belong.
It's well known that...
Hold on. So anyway, what does that have to do with this conversation?
Barrel scraping day.
Not much, other than to say that, they don't call me the old barrel scraper for nothing, and we're piecing it all together. So let's see if there's anything else here. Oh, this was a fun one we found. This was Nick, another example of him throwing shade Hannah Brown's way at the beginning of the pandemic.
Stop doing TikTok videos with groups of people in a pool.
Nick Viall seemingly slammed.
Can you believe that entertainment news? Nick Viall seemingly slams Hannah Brown for dancing in a TikTok video. It's footloose and foot free. There's no dancing in this town. Now, of course, he's not complaining about dancing. It's that it was the beginning of the pandemic, and people we're all supposed to stay home alone. We're all supposed to, but obviously, when it comes to quarantining, the idea was don't cross-contaminate. And of course, whether the hype house, the TikTok house, whatever they were, whether they were doing that or not, we're talking Matt James before he was Bachelor. We're talking Tyler Cameron. We're talking Hannah Brown and Tyler's younger brother. That whole crew, the quarantine crew. It's like, all right, they. So here they are.
Okay, I'm bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored.
Oh, they're great.
This concern is for good reason, as the pair has been flaunting their vacation-style quarantine by the pool in South Florida with their pals.
Yeah, so there they are. Quarantine crew right there. I'm trying to not play the music.
Creating a nickname and social media account for their squad called the Quarantine Crew. While the rest of America is practicing social distancing amid the coronavirus pandemic.
Who's the girl on the right? That's not the girl that Tyler Cameron was dating, is it? I don't know who that is.
Are you still a dancer? You still dancing?
I love to mess around and dance.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, listen, the Quarantine Crew, yeah, sure, they were doing some dancing, yeah, like they were all right, but when it comes to like good dancing, when you're really trying to see who's got the goods, the stuff. You really got to look, really look deep into the internet here. This is me, the lady here, doing the thing. Okay, we got enough of that. All right, so there it is, folks. Jeez. It's a sad world. Okay, do we have anything else? Let's play one last clip here. But of course, all the meat and the potatoes, the goods, the starch overload of drama can be found at She's All Batch. Stephanie and Jackie over there. Hey, come on, Stephanie, Jackie. When are we going to collaborate? Let's get that on the books. Here's just a quick clip.
I want to go back to Hannah's season for a hot minute because I have some questions that I'm dying to know. So you were on Hannah's first episode when she was the Bachelorette. How staged and manipulated was that? I mean, you walked in and then the tea about that guy with the girlfriend, like that was fake. No, like how did that happen? Well, I mean, someone had to have given you all that information.
No. Oh no, baby. This right here is all genuine. So this is what happened. I got a message from a girl on Instagram and I sent it to one of the producers and they this was like I'm talking right before like her night one. Like this is like all happening in the moment. Like it's crazy. And I get this message. So I go and I send it to a producer who is a producer that I really, really like. And I consider more of a friend because we don't do on camera stuff. We don't do that together. But I was like, yo, this girl, like, I want to talk to her. Like, let's get all of the details. And so we had to sit there and like, we went to a restaurant for hours of like me validating, like finding the tea, getting the tea. All right,
so Demi, if you remember, Demi brought tea that she had unearthed, or remember Detective Demi? Do we have that? Let me see if I can find that. Demi and Hannah. Let's just see. I don't think that'll show up in any of the photos of them together. But Demi and Hannah, you know, she showed up as the detective and presented the tea and all that. Maybe if we search detective. And, whatever. Point being is she was looking out for her homegirl, you know? Demi was looking out for Hannah, and they did the thing, and now Hannah's not responding to Demi. So, you know, I guess it wasn't that good of a relationship. But anyway, I appreciate all of you guys that are part of our relationship on Patreon, patreon.com/Dave Neal, and everyone else. Thank you so much for all the support. Next week is going to be a wild week for Dave Neal Show. Amber Heard and Johnny Depp are back. The trial resumes. I'm going to be probably making about 75% of my content will be Johnny Depp, Amber Heard focused, unless there's any other wild Bachelor stories that come out. But it's the off season, baby. So let me know what you guys think. We'll have more content coming your way. Go check out all that extra stuff. And maybe I'll see you on tonight's live stream as we do a little work with Dave, a little pizza party on a Friday. All info for that at D Neal's right there. All right. Bye, everybody. Peace.